Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and sigmas and baddies, we are back into the Nerd 3.0 Upper Bracket Finals, where I'm gonna be casting with Crux, of course, and yes, two of the top dogs teams will have a face-off against each other. This is gonna be a best of 5. The teams that rebranded themselves, thriving to climb up on top, we are gonna be seeing them going against each other to see who is the better top dog this time around. We have Sacred Shrine successfully defeating the giant LCF and knocking them into the lower brackets and making their way to the upper bracket finals to face off a Crux Requiem, another rebranded team, and the team that can flex their win against IZ, and who they knocked into the lower bracket also. So Crux, who do you con that will be winning this one?
I'm kind of torn between two of these amazing teams. Yesterday, I actually saw, Sacred Shrine actually pulling up the most amazing game against LCF. They completely dominated. While, LCF had their own ways to shine, Sacred Shrine turned it completely around, made sure that they got the victory and the spot at today's games. Crux Requiem, though, I want to actually support them because they have the same name as me, but it's with a C and not a K. But now that I think about it, I'm kind of torn apart.
You're kind of torn apart, right? It's still fine. I guess you're gonna be saying new with each other. But yeah, now that we are gonna be heading to the first game, Crux. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the drafting phase for Crux Requiem versus Sacred Shrine. Crux Requiem will be having the first pick and Sacred Shrine will be going for the second pick. So Kalea taken away, it's always something that have been banned away by Crux Requiem. Even if they are the first pick, it's very understandable because these top dog teams, we cannot really predict what they're gonna be going for because they really do not stick to the metas. They really want to stick for the composition most of the time. So let's see what other bans are coming through for both of these teams here.
To be fair, I'd say that the Kalia ban would be a targeted ban for, Art, of course. He's pretty good on the Kalia, and obviously you don't want to actually keep the Kalia open. Once you have that on the screen, you've got basically a problem if you pick a faster. You've got to pick dive mages to actually make sure you actually, have dominance throughout the mid game, obviously, because the Kalea completely shuts down a single target. If you put the mage in the front lines or make it very vulnerable for Kalea to actually jump in and tsunami slam her into oblivion, you've practically just given up a free chess piece on the board. And then again, we'll talk about how Zushin has now not been given that much priority in the ban section. You've got Zushin getting picked in some games, but there goes the Baxia as the first pick, and Yisun Shin and Gatop Kacha from the side of Team Sacred Shrine to actually counteract that. I think that Baxia is not going to actually have that much of a hard time against these two heroes, but Yisun Shin's definitely got an escape route with the Mountain Shocker.
Yeah. True, that's also one of the prior pick here right now, but what's more prior is the Baxia here, so it's very understandable that they went for the Baxia first pick, even though they do really know that Van Patoro can literally and also make it work because he looks like he want to play the Yisun Shin too. But of course, the Katokata is gonna be picked up again. It has always a and 27. He really looked like he wanted to play the Labu. So Crux Requiem were like, of course, yeah, get your hero into the first race, and they will be getting it direct, no flex coming in for the side. Crux Requiem, they won the Baxia Angela together. They won that healing. They won that anti-heal onto themselves as well. But when the Angela comes through, the Esmeralda always makes an appearance, but this time around there's a catch because they have a Boxia into the hands of Crux Requiem, which means that the Esmeralda will not be healing as much as possible. But yeah, it's kind of becoming a 50-50 because they do have an anti-heal onto their side, but they also have a seal that can be given to the Esmeralda right now. But looking at the bans coming through from side of Sacred Shrine, they have to remove some of the gold lanes that can be a threat that they can post into the later part of this game. Very understandable that they have to take away the Moskov, which have been continuously banned most of the time if it's not picked into the first phase. So now Crux Requiem, what are the choices they could ban for? Even the Ruby ban is valid here, but they can risk giving it to Sacred Shrine also.
The Ruby is kind of niche pick. I'll be very honest with you, especially after the
Yeah.
whole phase where everyone was just like loving on Ruby. Funny fact, actually, Ruby was my first MLBB crush, quote unquote. So I'll be very honest with you. I loved seeing Ruby get the spotlight once in a blue moon. But I also would appreciate all the pro players out there if they actually gave some to Argus, obviously. But instead, it's going to be Nathan that's going to get banned at the second phase. They are prioritizing on the gold lane because obviously the gold lane is the one that actually deals most damage and has the most value.
Yeah.
Because as much as you take the objectives, you've got to make sure the towers are down. It's a tower defense game. You've got to take down the towers and make sure your dominance is spread across throughout the map. That is quite prioritized. I'll be very honest with you. Nathan and Moskov all of a sudden are getting this spike in popularity. Where is it coming from? Argus, huh?
Well, I mean, August is basically a fallen angel, right? So they really do not want to pick him up as well.
That's
But
very sweet.
yeah, it's not really. I mean, it's not becoming mainstream, so you got to be happy about that. But the thing about the Linux has been very funny, I would say, because Linux being banned by Crux Requiem, very understandable, because they have a tanky front owner for their side, they have the bugs here. But the thing is, the Linux has been picked up quite a lot in the MPL scene into the gold lane most of the time. So I think Secret Shrine, we're trying to lean towards it because they have a Yi in already. They need something of a damage dealing potential into the gold lane. So if they do not pick up the Ruby, they need something of a magic. So very understandable that Crux Requiem, they will be banning away the Nathan and the Lunox. But the Lilia pick coming through from the side of Secret Shrine, which is not going to be into the hands of Eden, but into the hands of Bit, definitely an answer to those in. But look at that. Oh my goodness, what are these picks coming through so fast? Leslie's making a debut, Crux.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The whole idea of Leslie versus Claude is kind of smart when I think about it, because obviously the camouflage state that Leslie has can immune Claude's ultimate the Blazing Duet completely. That makes it completely, valid to actually pick the Leslie. Obviously, you can try that out actually. When you are camouflaged as Leslie, you're practically immune to all of the, Claude's bullets. It does not find a target for it to actually attack on, so it's basically immune. However, it's also pretty good against the Boxia. That means the Boxia will have to go and rush in for the Twilight Armor, which is going to be one of the most important items for obviously Lapu Lapu 2, because you don't want the front lines to be melted down pretty fast with the Leslie. And let's just face it, the Yisun Shin is going to deal a lot of damage to the back line. Navaria is not going to be safe. I think Claude's going to be A-okay for the most part, but I think, with Rom-Com and the Esmeralda, it's going to be a little bit of a pain for Claude to actually engage and disengage, as freely as he wants to.
Oh my god, it's Joseph who's missing into the picture. I was searching for it. Nevertheless, we have all the others. Puppy Shrek is also there, the newly added member for the side of Crux Requiem with the name Puppy Shrek. He's picking up the Angela also. It's kind of funny, but also very, very dramatic. Something we would like. But okay, Kelra right now, I mean, this is an Indian Kelra, okay? Into the hands of Secret Shrine Fate, actually, if you want to know his name. And this is it was not a debut, I forgot. This is the second time the Leslie has been picked. Last time I remember it was Marv picking up the Leslie, and no, it wasn't Marv. I think it was against Johan, and the Leslie won. So it was actually Secret Shrine still. This is the second time they're gonna be picking up the Leslie, and we will see which will they can make it work too.
Oh, definitely. They might actually make the Leslie work out, but here in the Land of Dawn, we're having the first rays of light shine as Such Is Life has taken the first buff, while obviously Ransatharu has gone directly for the Hoenn Lizard in the bot lane and trying to put some pressure onto the Little Wanderer. Obviously, that's a good idea after taking the blue buff, but I think he's not actually even interested in taking it at all. Oh no! I saw. I definitely actually got the Little Wanderer there, but sadly he did not.
The triangle rotation coming in from the side of Advanced Toro, which is not read out by Crux Requiem still, is definitely going to be giving him a leeway. Look at that. Okay, Advanced Toro, we know you're the rising star of this season to the jungle side, and he was able to get that. Will he get away safely? Oh my god, he did. What is this guy doing? And he's making it work as well. The rotation. Wait a goddamn minute, he make it work, so that's gonna be giving him a level lead. Look at that, Romcom also stealing out the creep, so Joseph is gonna be stuck in his own jungle, bro.
What the hell? I think he's got the wrong game right now. This is not PUBG or BGMI. This is Camping Haven, my friend. Wan Satoru, what are you doing? What is actually happening in your brain? That beautiful mind of yours has
Yeah.
made sure that Joseph is going to actually struggle. Such is life is quite the, fitting name for him right now. I'd be very honest with you. The first turtle of the match has spawned in. Debbie, do you have any predictions as to who's going to get the, turtle?
I would say definitely Von Satoru, man. Look at the guy, he's level 5. Never mind. Look at that, Makinu.
Oh, that's not going to be possible. Look at that. The Retribution is going to save the day because obviously Such as Life gets the Retribution. And also, we'd have to give some headlines to Lapu Lapu. Romcom did not actually do a good job. Look at the team fight going on. Art is actually staying still alive for some reason. I expected him to actually go down pretty quickly, but Lapu Lapu is still kind of beefy after taking out, Van Satoru in that previous team fight. Look in the mid lane, Papi Shrek doing some insane amounts of damage. Without the black shoes, I think Bid's going to be in problems that he can't really escape from, but Navaria's Star Shatter did not shatter Bid's confidence there.
Definitely, and these guys so very confident on the Aurora and the Lilia most of the time. And now that he got the Lilia, I think it's definitely going to be working out. But look at the Taunt Crisis.
Crisis might be in a crisis there. The month of okay, that's not going to be the last bullet in his coffin. He's going to actually be able to escape from there because obviously he's got a little bit of a leeway with the battle mirror image. But look at that! Oh, has stunned Navaria and no, Papi Shrek. But the Star Shatter now connects perfectly, gets the kill on Van Satoru. That means Such as Life has a free time just jumping in at Art, who is not going to heal as much, uses the ALG to escape away from there. And well, even though Joseph actually got a ton of damage from Leslie's, bullets, I think he's going to stay alive and healthy, especially with a Heart Guard. His heart is safe, my friends.
Yeah, it's actually a hard guard at this point. HARD, because he has a lot of tones or defense items right now. I mean,
see
not
what you did there.
Stuff. Yeah, it's the Leslie is it's still the early game. Even though you deal 2 damage with a little shot, you are definitely not gonna be that much of a threat into the early stages of this game, because let's face it, it's just 5 minutes of this game and they will not be able to do anything. So Fate will be picking out the berserkers as of now. Taking a ton of damage though. Trying to turn. Okay.
Taunt does not actually connect. I'll be very honest with you. If that did connect, Crisis would have actually been taken out before the second turtle fight. That's going to be very tough, of course, because if you have Crisis and his, Blazing Duet, I think that would be an easy, fear factor for this team. Sacred Shrine, they would have actually had a hard time. But look at that. I think Lapu Lapu engaging with the ultimate. He's set in. He's trying to use the ultimate, but he will be nuked down in time. But Such as Life gets the kill on the turtle with a good time retribution. Lapu Lapu gets taken out by Van Satoru, of course. Okay, there goes the Blazing Duet doing a ton of damage. Getting taken out. He gets a double kill. Crisis doing amazing work in the back lines, and that was absolutely crazy. Fate did not actually have an opening to actually get the clawed down. Crisis is putting Team Sacred Shrine in a big crisis right now.
Yeah, there was a very, very close call coming in from him as well. And taking down Van Satoru again. 3 deaths already into his hands. Definitely not the best case scenario for Yi Shin. But the fact that he was able to have a better farm, like level 8 already, he was actually ahead. But onto the bot lane though, there must be something out here. But not much. That's going to be the snipe coming through from Eden. Not enough to take Fate down. But yeah, back to the point. Yi Shin, I feel like if he was alive long enough, he could have a very, very good goal onto his head already. But the fact that he has always been falling onto those teamfights, he wasn't able to do anything much, and that's definitely not the good case that he could go for here. So I think Van, you have to be really, very careful into the early stages of this game. But look at the taunt.
Oh, the taunt from Art actually, catching Crisis, but I think the, Blazing Duet actually kept him alive. The shield is impenetrable. He's absolutely okay. A-okay to defend the mid lane, obviously. Such as Life has engaged and caught Romcom. I think that's not going to be happening because obviously Romcom does not want to actually deal with Baxia and his passive. But one thing that I want to mention, of course, is the fact that Yi Shin recently got nerfed. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's with the HP that he's gotten nerfed. His total HP has been reduced, but his HP per level has been increased by a certain amount. I think it's about 150 now, which of course he gets 150 HP per level. It used to be 132, 134. If I'm not wrong, the stats might actually fade away from my memory. But in the mid lane, we see Yisun Shin
Ooh.
still does damage that he had before. I think Novaria is actually kind of in a pickle here. The third turtle match has just spawned in, and I think Such as Life has decided to actually re-engage with the Heart Guard on him. I think it's going to be working out pretty well because Lapu Lapu is engaged and forced Vanta through, but that miss on the flicker was so bad that everyone in the chat is screaming, hell no. I think right now, Turtle's going to go to the side of teams. Crux Requiem obviously are in trouble. There's no healing going on. He gets taken out. Bid 2. Crisis gets the double kill. And I think Wanzatharu is going to be the next on the chopping block. The mid side, I think Leslie still has an opening for maybe 2 kills. But the top lane, we see that Lapu and Romcom are trying to put some punches on each other. But Fate is going to actually succumb to the fate that he has and try to actually defend the
Oh.
mid lane, but to no avail. Mid tier 1 taken out, top tier 1 also gone from the side of Team Sacred Shrine, while Crux Requiem only has lost 1 tower and it's in bot lane.
I think that's definitely a domination coming in from the side of Crux Requiem, I would say, because they have been able to find a kill across the board, and time again they have been playing objectively, and that is going to be giving them a little bit of a lead as well, and the jungle is going to be definitely...
Oh,
What? Look at that.
Art is getting taken completely off guard because everyone's actually engaging on him first. And he uses the AOG, of course, to escape, because now, without the AOG, Team Sacred Shrine are in trouble. Bid has been caught by Angela, of course, the second skill. Now here comes Claude with the Blazing Duet, doing a ton of damage, takes down Bid. Fate is forced to use the Flicker, and there comes the Saw Shadow doing damage on Art, but he just came back from the base, and again, he's taking a ton of damage. I mean, he might take a ton of damage if he actually stays in the front lines, but in the bot lane, we see Tier 1 also getting taken out. Poppy Shrek and Eden trying to do their best in the mid lane. Of course, you don't really want them there. You want them actually sniping across the map and setting up with the ultimate, the Astral Recall. Of course, in the bot lane, there's going to be a fight. Fate doing a ton of damage, but the heal from
Wow.
Angela literally took back all the damage that actually just went on to Lapu's face, of course. Star Shadow completely taking Fate. It's like
What?
Fate actually wanted, the Star Shadow to actually hit on him. Okay, look at that. There comes... I think Romcom's actually going to be in trouble pretty soon. There's no healing for you. He's forced to use the sprint and run away. But Blazing Duet catches him and is not going to save his life. Crisis gets a kill again. Dude, Crisis is absolutely going bonkers with the Claude right now. He is going
Yeah.
crazy since the early game because obviously we know that Crisis is a pro player and, well, he's good at Claude, but Claude really needs items to actually do some damage. This guy is just taking out the norms and putting it in the trash bin because he's literally taking the game at his own pace. The Lord, the first one, goes to the side of Team Crux Requiem, and they actually put up the pressure even more. They might actually just pick it up and end the game in the next Lord, I think.
Yeah, that was a ton coming in again from Art, just trying to get something out of this, but there's gonna be something of a Turtle's Response being used again. Look at that Art taking very low. He's not able to sustain any damage coming in from the side of Crux Requiem here. This is not the best case scenario for them to go in, and they know that they have to fall back again. And look at the tankiness coming through from Sati's life. I don't think this guy will be falling anytime soon. Even the Leslie with 2 damage wasn't able to do anything about this at this point. And you know what, Crux, there's a lot of items and resources available already for the side of CRQ. They might eventually try to force their way with the lore, especially into the mid lane and try to take this mid lane turret down, but Sati's life getting taunted. Nothing much gonna be happening right now, but never mind. Look at the ton.
Oh, wait. Such as Life just got the red buff from the hands. Oh, look at that. Vanzatharu gets taken out by Lapu Lapu, of course. The Retribution got him. Oh, okay. Lapu Lapu getting taken out. But again, Such as Life just got the Retribution time right and got the buff right from Yisun Shin's face, even though he got taunted. That's absolutely bonkers. That's amazing. Dude, Joseph is going amazing. His team is doing so well. Crux Requiem is absolutely on fire right now. Art is trying to engage, but obviously you can't do damage and take back the HP with a passive if there's a Boxy on your enemy team. You can't really
Yeah.
sustain much. That's basically what most people use Gator Catcher for. And hey, Debbie, one more funny thing. There's Crux Requiem, a team on the game. There's Crux, who is on the crucifix, of course, on the caster desk. And then there's also a guy in the chat named CRIX. Crix, I think.
Wait,
I think it's a.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of
it's
funny that I wanted to mention that.
you're fated to be in one place here right now, and you know what? Crux is actually winning on this, so gotta be happy about it. But you know, Angela on a fleeting time already. Puppy Shrek doing the puppy
Oh,
puppy
damn.
poom thing. That's definitely gonna be giving them a lot of ways to try to go and stay in the team fight most of the time, because the fleeting time is gonna be lessening down the cooldown of your ultimate, and that's definitely what they're gonna be needing as of now. But Berserker, not Berserker, just a fact to mention is that, you know, the Malefic gun already into the hands of Leslie. Fate here, I don't think that's gonna be the necessary item, because in this scenario he's not having the great time, but never mind, such is life rolling in, caring about nothing.
There's a Rolls Royce of this game. Baxia actually trying to engage inside the tower in the tier 3 mid is not the best option, but I think he's still staying alive because of, obviously Papu
Yeah.
Shrek. He's doing so much for his team. I'd say that Crisis, Lapu, and Baxia, of course, Joseph, wouldn't actually be where they are right now, of course, with the domination without Poppy Shrek. Amazing, amazing coordination with his team, of course. Art setting up for maybe an AOG. I think he's looking for one, but there's not going to be a possibility of that. For the Lord is now spawned in the Land of Dawn. It's the second Lord of the match, 12 minutes. There's no holy blessings. There's no barriers to actually protect you if that Lord is taken. And I think Sacred Shrine have to pick up the pace. But look, they've completely okay, they're going back to the Lord. I thought they were actually gonna abandon the idea and just chase down the enemies first, but I think Sacred Shrine don't really have the confidence to take down Crux Requiem right now. They're trying to take it slow and make sure they play the high ground top lane. Fate is doing some pushing, but I think he decided to actually recall instead. Oh, there's
The
another
fact
fight.
Okay, there's not gonna be much here, because this is just a shutter of light. It's actually live onto the backside. It's just gonna be melting. You're not gonna be melted out, because there's not much of a damage going through from the side of Sacred Shrine again. And Crux Requiem, they have the Lord advantage. The Lord is gonna be marching onto the bottom lane, and they do have the sinking onto these lanes as well. And I think Sacred Shrine will not, will not be able to defend the inhibitors just yet. And the fact that they have a very late game scaling heroes together all in one place, it kind of costing them a lot, because they weren't able to play the mid game into the early stage of this game as well. But never mind, look at the Asteroid recalls coming in trying to join.
It gives all the vision on the enemies, of course, but look at that. I think Novari is in trouble. Romcom is trying to take him down, but now the plans are actually in sync. Shut down for Joseph. The odds AOG, I thought it was almost about to be Leslie's last day, but look at that. Romcom gets the kill on Eden. He's going to be sent back to the base alongside Such as Life, and I think Crisis, Poppy Shrek, and Lapu are going to make sure they actually stay alive, because obviously they've got one tower down. They've got the advantage, but look at that. The Esmeralda's ultimate connecting on two people. Poppy Shrek, I think not. Romcom is going to be taken out. Look at the Winter Crown play from Crisis. Absolutely god-forsaken play there. But look at that. Fate going to be taken out by Lapu Lapu, who just mocked him without any hesitation. I think now it's going to be Vansathur's time, but Art is low on HP. I think it might actually be safe for him to recall. Instead, it's 3 versus 3 now, which, okay, 3 versus 5. Both of the team members that actually died from the side of Crux Requiem are back alive. They think they can actually... Do you think they can actually end this right now?
Yeah, it's possible if they didn't throw, but look at that stun coming in. Crisis does have the hard guard, does not have the BMI just yet, but there's gonna be a Black Zeus used. The 1 resources, 2 resources being burned away from both of these teams, and yeah, they have to fall back just a little bit. Even though Crux Requiem does have a lot of gold into their hands, they cannot really go in, because the clearance coming out from the lead is so good. They are making up for the leg of clearance coming out from the Leslie, but they also have the Yeeson in already, so that's gonna be scaling them quite a lot. And less battle already into the hands of Fate. There's another 2 damage into his hands, and full build already for Crisis. That's definitely going to be hurting. No wonder Romcom wasn't able to sustain him when he was just trying to dive in, because he does not really have
Oh,
the required defensive itemization that can help him take the guy down. But the thing is, I wanna, McKinley has been playing so good in this play so far, because even when he was the one who initiated, he was making it work. Even when he was the one who goes into the last phases, he made his presence known by being the one focusing on Fate most of the time, and that kind of give Fate, a lessening down the places for him to move in. And when you do not really have your damage dealer free hitting, that's not the best, the best way to have to start a team fight. So Art has also been very
I
decisive on starting the team fight as well, but such is life, going in on Fate again.
Oh, Fate is not going to stand a chance, obviously, because right now Twilight Armor is in Such as Life's hands, obviously. They've abandoned the Lord, they're going directly to take the players down. They're like, screw the Lord, we need the players down. They've got their, head in the game, obviously. Right now, Art is trying to look for an engaged bid, though. I want to actually mention this, Debbie. The fact that Eden is taking off, chomping away at least 60% of Bid's HP with just one Star Shot is absolutely amazing. Crisis might not be in a crisis, obviously. The battle mirror image actually saves his life. Romcom forced back because obviously Crux Requiem is, trying to put the pressure on. Fate is gone back to base.
You know, the fact that Sacred Shrine are able to try to hold these out just a little bit is kind of impressive. Because if you see Crux Requiem, they have a better setup, they have all the goals, they have all the advantages, but then again, their presence is made known. Sacred Shrine are always there trying to get their contest onto the objective, not trying to make it a sure direct no contest lot. They are trying to show out the reasons again, because look at Bit
Oh,
is
look
trying
at
to
that.
calm.
Oh, beautiful retribution from the side of Team Crux Requiem. They've secured the Lord, and now Bid's doing a ton of damage, but that would just force them back. Look at
Whoa!
that crisis! First shutdown of the match. Romcom and his antics have finally found a way to take down Crisis, which was the most important piece for them to take out, because obviously Crisis, without them, like without him, of course, Crux Requiem might actually have to play safe. And with 20 seconds, 27 seconds on the timer for his respawn, it's going to be tough for them to push and end. I think they might rely on another Lord to actually end this. I think Team Sacred Shrine have got an opportunity to, slow down the pace of the game to their liking.
Yeah, the fact that they have a Lilia with the spell vamp, of course, he's just gonna be able to sustain all the damage coming through, but they have to be really careful about this. But on the other hand, they are trying to force their way into the top lane. There might be a possible engage coming through. Romcom with the tease. Look at that.
Oh, dude, I think that's not going to actually happen. I think it's going to be turned around. Martin Shaka will be completely immune, but Lapu Lapu gets taken out first. I think that was unnecessary. As of right now, you've got no, your backline damage. Crisis is not ready to actually engage there because obviously he just respawned. You don't want to actually wake up and jump in at, maybe a fight, obviously, because when you wake up, your head is not in the game. He just respawned. I think it was not the right position to actually, jump into a fight. Lapu Lapu has put that onto himself. Not very good.
Not very good. I think that's a tribal to tribal or Lamka connection right there. But they are able to make it work. But instead of coming back, look at the City's Life just trying to do something out there, defending the mid turret very successfully. So Crux, when you see the first few minutes of this game, you would have thought that they will not, for Sacred Shrine, they couldn't be getting to a point that they will be here in this kind of position, because Juan Satoru onto the Yi Sin was 1-5-1 onto the score before, and now they
Oh
are
yeah.
showing signs of life. A little bit of green light here and there, and I think I wanna give out all the the praises to Romcom here, because he was able to do so much. He was able to find ways, he was able to show the places where the people of Crux Requiem are gonna be in, and of course a bit also he was able to get a lot of damage done onto such a side most of the time. And even though they have already gotten the full build, oh, interesting enough, Angela here is gonna be going for the full magic build. No wonder he was able to give all the seals into Sachi's life again. But all of them are already full build. They are going to be having a lot of damage. It's going to be 50-50 throughout the game. The Lord will be marching. The Lord will be up, spawning into the bottom side. And funny enough, Sacred Shrine are the one having the better chances in taking it this time around.
True, but of course, if Art is using up his AOG, obviously, he wouldn't actually set up for a good Lord. But then again, Crux Requiem know that they've got to make sure Art is not in the picture, at least not his ultimate, of course. Fate does not really have the damage, I'll be very honest with you, especially with the Twilight armor being on, Abaxia's hands. Joseph will be a little tanky, and I think Fate's not going to do that much. But one thing that we need to actually look out for is Romcom and his real funny
Whoa!
antics. There comes the AOG connecting onto Joseph, but the blazing duet going on the back line takes out Art, the first, victim of
Crux Requiem in this Lord fight is going to be art, and I think Romcom is going to be the next one on the chopping block. I think he's not going to, because obviously Joseph does not have the damage. He just has the anti-life, anti-life, of course, because Romcom is going to get taken out now. He instantly buys the immortality. I think he's going to go for the Winter Crown. No, I don't think he has enough money for that. He will be taken out. Romcom out of the picture means it's going to be an easy Lord or an end, of course, for the side. Oh, Fate is going to get marked next. Rolls Royce, of course, he's out of the picture. Fate, and we've got Bid and Vans at the run in for their life. I think right now Crux Requiem could end the game, maybe, because obviously if you have Van and Bid alive, I think you can actually defend it, but Bid actually might be in trouble. The Black Shoes being procced, I think Crisis doing enough damage will be the end of Bid, because right now we've got the AOG missing completely, and Vansatharu is there to defend, but that means Crux Requiem are open to take the Lord.
50 seconds down onto that timer for the side. Oh, never mind! Look at that!
Oh, absolutely beautiful. Yin, your YSS is going to be taken out by Eden, who just times the Star Shadow amazingly. And now the Nexus will be taken out by the team, Crux Requiem. They've got an amazing start, because right now there's no chance that Sacred Shrine have gotten their ego hurt. Well, after that one, of course.
Sort of immobile here, like the Leslie doesn't really stand a chance with the expensive Royce rolls coming through from Satsu's life, obviously. And the fact that he already gotten the Twilight armor was not, the best for Fate too. Because even if he was the full build, he already gotten the full build. When he gets stunned out, there's not going to be anything much he can do. Because the best case scenario for the side of Crux Requiem is that they have an Angela who is on a full-on magic damage. And even if Satsu's life isn't the one dealing the damage, if he gets mounted on by the Angela, he's always going to be able to get the kill down. And that's definitely one of the best Angela Baxia gameplays that we have ever seen so far in this tournament. But damn, Eden, what a snipe was that? Von Satoru couldn't stand a chance. So this is why they were trying to prioritize the Baxia earlier than the Yi Shin. Of course, there has been a little bit of a nerf on the Yi Shin, but the early stage of this game, Von Satoru did kind of try to play a little bit better, but then he was taken down time and again and unaware of his positioning sometimes, and even Mercury was able to get to him almost all the time, and that's not what you really want to do when you are on Yi Shin. You have to be really careful into the early stages of this game when you really, really don't have your ultimate as well. So I think the execution part was also lacking just a little bit. So we'll have to see what they can do into the next game.
Oh, the next game. There's one thing that I can actually say for certain. It's going to be a Boxia in the ban section from the side of Team Sacred Shrine, of course. They can't afford to actually give Joseph Boxia again. But one thing that I actually loved about this game was Romcom. He was providing the information which allowed them to make sure they got a few kills at least and counter most of their, Crux Requiem's antics. Of course, the Crisis play was absolutely chaotic for them. But then again, knowing where Crisis was crucial. And one takedown on Crisis was because of Romcom. I'll be very honest with you, that guy is on fire.
I mean, even though they were actually losing out, I mean, the starting was caught in shambles, I would say, for the Secret Shrine. They just threw out to the Red Buff, which was definitely one of the best steal I've seen so far, but yeah, they couldn't capitalize on that, so that's definitely one thing they had to focus on. They have to have a little bit of discipline, and of course, the early rotation career from Mercury was able to make it work, and even though they were onto the losing side, Romcom was playing it so well. He was the one who made the game last this long into this game, so yeah, the follow-ups coming through, of course the response was all actually good, but they were at a point where Crux Requiem had already have a lot of damage into their hands, and worst case scenario, when you are on a Leslie and you do not really have the position or even the space to try and attack, yeah, you're gonna be having a downfall right there, and this is exactly what Crux Requiem were playing for. They were punishing the position of the Leslie time and again. There's gonna be the tire rolling all over the floor onto the Leslie, onto Fate, and he's not really free hitting at that point. And yeah, that's an expensive tire with the hard guard, surrounding him again too. So. I think I
Oh man,
watched too
I
much.
just had that. Do you guys remember that one meme where there was just like one dude just driving his bike and all of a sudden there's a car flying straight across from the other, intersection right into his face? I remember that meme the moment I actually see Baxia right now, especially after you mentioned that he's a tire. Damn, fair enough, dude. That guy's absolutely maniacal. And well, we get the Fasa and Lancelot bends. No real reason to actually explain them because obviously you don't
Yeah.
really want to see both of them in the game.
Baxia Bank can come through for Secret Shrine unless they wanna play themselves. But the fact that Von Satoru hasn't been picking up the utility jungles, right? He usually goes on to the Lee and the Assassins most of the time, and he actually make it work most of the time. So I think Secret Shrine can take away the Baxia again. But they can also put it into the room. But you really want Art into a non-setter tank? I don't think that's definitely going to be working. He's more of an active roamer, a very aggressive roamer. He wants to make the plays, he wants to do the set, so he's gonna be needing all those heroes, those kind. But Kalea, of course, has to be went away against Art, and the 1-1 also as a no-brainer. Even though you are onto the first pick, you really do not really wanna pick out the first pick onto that 1-1 again, because there's always a chance for the Hayabusa to come through. Now, Secret Sign, they have one thing to ban away. What's to be good here? I thought the Boxer could have been a solid ban if they don't want it for themselves, because it was a really, really hard game to play just because of the presence of the Boxer, and there we go.
Oh, dude, you just called it. The moment it actually came out, I was like, holy crap, this is like Future Sight 10x. You've got a 10-second head start from both of these teams, obviously. Can you predict the next one? What do you think Crux Requiem are going to ban?
Jushin? I'm pretty sure it has to be Jushin, but I'm not sure, because they do have the chance to pick up a counter assassin if they let go of the Jushin, and Secret Shrine can play it there. And you know what? I think Secret Shrine Bit is more capable of having the overactive or over aggressive heroes onto his hands, like the Versa or the Kaditas, and most of the time he can play on the Jushin too. But oi, it's the Hylos ban. Very interesting. Crux Requiem. Something's cooking up, man.
Oh, if the Hylos is getting banned, then I'm telling you, it's going to be an August getting picked on this side. Because Hylos actually reduces the movement speed, not the attack. No, the attack speed, and August is just immune to. Okay, let's screw it. Enough about the joking, because right now we've got Zushin getting picked on the side of Team Sacred Shrine. Ray in the corner, he's absolutely howling. He's going crazy. I think that he was actually asking me to do this because obviously every time Zushin gets picked, Ray is absolutely joyous and celebrating there. But then again, we've got CC and catch up from the side of Team Crux Requiem. Quite the big jump, I'd say.
I mean, these two combinations, the CC and the Gato combination is something you can't really look down upon. Because you might think, you might think they're gonna be lacking just a little bit of momentum, or they're gonna be just lacking just a little bit of crowd control. But no, these two actually really, really worked well. But nevertheless, Secret Shrine going for the pick coming in for the Nathan and the Badang combination, and of course, when you call out the Jushin, you're gonna be seeing the Hayabusa. So Crux Requiem were actually ready for the Jushin when they banned away the Hylos. They wanted the Jushin because they also have the chance to pick up the Hayabusa, and the fact that they have for Secret Sign, they have the Nathan into their hands, the Hayabusa have double the value right now. So Joseph onto the assassin is one thing that we usually really, really love to see. But Crux Requiem right now, they have to take away the possible flexes coming in from the side of Secret Shrine. They are a very solid choice against the CC, so very understandable. So what else can they ban? Okay, gold lane, Moscow too.
I was thinking about the Moscow.
Yeah, Moscow is no-brainer here.
Definitely, because obviously the previous game they actually banned it too. Moscow again, this game pretty obvious because right now Team Crux Requiem don't have the gold laner being picked on their side. They've got it open, and Team Sacred Shrine want to take the opportunity to keep away all of the damage dealers who can actually possibly threaten Badang's setups. As of course we know that Moscow Spear of Misery pushes back Badang's Fist Crack, and I think that actually is a reasonable case, but also does provide a lot of sustain in the gold lane. well, not sustain. I mean, the damage on Nathan in the gold lane, even in terms of farming, I think the Spear of Misery can completely shut down someone's farming, speed. But again,
Yeah.
from the side of Team Crux, the Requiem, they've gotten for the Phobius ban, and Sacred Shrine have gone again to actually ban another gold laner, Harius.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
surprised.
think. I mean, I like the Herrick ban though, because against Natan, the Herrick might actually work, and of course, Crux can already have a physical damage dealer into the jungle side into the XP as well, so they could have gone for the the mates into the gold lane, so I think it's not really quite well. But the Jushin against the Eve, it's kind of an Eve is a hero that can easily go and poke up the Jushin, but she kind of falls down when there's an assassin on the other side. So Secret Shrine, they might be forced to play the assassin like the Joy, or the Suyo can come through as well. Because if they pick up the Frederick, I don't think it's not gonna be good here.
I think the joy is not going to be possible here, obviously, because you got Eve, of course, you can take that hero down. But other than that, you're basically running into a empty street when you're facing against the CC. Oh, it's going to be Vansathur on the Fanny.
Fanny.
Dude, I just hope he uses the Mikasa skin. I absolutely adore Mikasa. I hope I get to see Mikasa absolutely destroying some titans like maybe Gat or Kacha today, but. Last pick from the side of Team Crux Requiem. They've got the they've got the gold lane open. I think a Ruby's a good possibility, don't you think?
Oh, a Ruby, they need a late game too, right? So they go
True.
the Glot again, or Granger
Maybe.
too. Granger might also be an option, but Granger is so weak against the Fanny though. The Clot has
I
a
agree.
What is good?
See, the thing is,
Oh, Irika.
oh, it's Naruto.
Still not gonna be the easiest, right? Because against any, you kind of suffer a lot even when you are on any kind of hero other than the Moscow or the Brody. No self PR for this dude, so you gotta bring the flick all the springs on the field, right?
You don't have really a real hard CC. I mean, Crux Requiem don't, of course. So Fanny's free to actually fly around, unless, of course, Papi Shrek decides to actually hit a 1 in a million, taunt onto Fanny, and then just make her start, rapidly attacking Titan. Obviously, is what I'm thinking. But is it going to be enough? I'll be very honest with you. The kill box from the side of Team Crux Requiem is basically Gatot's AOG and Yves real world manipulation. That would be a good kill box to allow for Irithel and CC to actually kill everyone in the area. But of course, we've got Hayabusa to actually kill away any stranglers who run around and try to escape from the kill box. I think it's good. I think it has its own ways to shine. But the side of Team Sacred Shrine, they've got the Badang, they've got setters like Badang and Lapu, of course, and Zushin and Lapu, of course. And I think, to be fair, the Fanny is amazing in terms of actually, flying around without any crowd control, which, of course, Crux Requiem don't have at all.
Don't have though, I've completely forgotten because so many of the times we've seen the Fanny completely bent, and these two young junglers, they really love playing the Fanny, they love playing the assassin, so it's gonna be one hell of a showdown. We're gonna be seeing into game number 2. We'll be heading into the second game, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the land of Dawn and Crux. Like you mentioned, it's gonna be the Mikasa Vansatoro is gonna be using. This is the second game of Sacred Shrine versus Crux Requiem, with a complete new set of lineup and a complete new set of heroes that they're gonna be playing. No Leslie this time around, but it's gonna be Natan. So let's see if it can work out.
Oh, we've got some pressure being built up in the mid lane. I think the mana is not going to be enough. Bid is trying to actually pull. He will get the pull on Papi Shrek, of course. Joseph, he has his signature hero. Hayabusa, of course. He's farming quick, but of course, we've got Fanny who is farming even quicker. There's not going to be an invade early on, which we see most Fanny players do. Papi Shrek gets the taunt in and maybe a kill, but Dom uses the wall. The fist crack is there, and he gets the flickered escape. Oh, good grief. Such as life is going to face another big problem because the train that is Vansa through, of course, Mikasa has come in and taken a life in a matter of seconds. seconds, swooping in like a bird. Wait, what is that line from the movie Cars? Float like a beaver, sting like a bee. Yeah, a bee.
I don't watch Mikasa, so I wouldn't know. I'm
No,
sorry
no,
to
I mean
say that.
it's from the movie Cars.
Oh, really? Oh, Cars! Oh,
Yeah,
Cars! Okay, okay, okay.
float like a
I was like,
butterfly, sting like a beaver. I mean
oh,
bee,
okay, okay,
but
that
yeah,
one. I thought there was something of a line
yeah.
for Mikasa. No, no, right? But yeah, first early kill into the hands of one Satoru. Again, this guy is strong into the early stages of this game and he's definitely actually making it work, But Crux, what if it was Puppy Shrek who was having having the badang, right? Things could have been very different, but oh my goodness, another kill onto the bottom lane. One Satoru, when he does have the blue, making the pressure really, really well known. But he does have the cables to swing by and get the steal onto the turtle. But look at the ton.
Oh, the taunt is going to be enough. Art does not stay alive for even a second longer after he actually punched, Hayabusa in the face, obviously, because CC and, Joseph, they've decided on taking Art's life. He's going to go straight back to the base. Bid does not have the ultimate ready just yet, but he will be able to pull Eden into a little bit of a tough situation, but nothing that he can't actually survive out of. Art not being there was the only problem there, because obviously Bid really could not get the kill even if he wanted to, especially with Papi Shrek right there nearby as the most, important secure function for Eden there.
I think it was also a good read coming through from Papi Shrek. He knew that Satoru was going to be taking a detour out into the mid lane boost, so he was ready with the taunt coming through. But Art, look at the set.
Oh, the set is not going to be enough. I think that's not going to be enough damage from either Zushin or Art, of course, but Fanny does not have the blue buff just yet. He will be taking a ton of damage from Yve's ultimate, the real world manipulation, but CC gets the kill. Look at that. I think Romcom is here now to save the day, but Papi Shrek is just punching and punching, but I think Romcom is doing way more damage. Look at that though, Papi Shrek gets taken away from that whole, skirmish. But Romcom now is forced back, but Nathan's Entropy is now here. He's a hero here to save the day. Gets one kill, but he would not be able to get more than one of them. CC now doing a ton of damage, but Crisis, another problem for the side of Team Sacred Shrine. It's Crisis now on the back of Leo, running around, of course, taking a few kills. Fate being taken out means there's going to be so much pressure on the top. Maybe not. I think Fanny does how he has the blue buff, does damage. Art's ultimate now stuns and on Crisis, but CC is still alive, so there's not going to be much pressure in the top lane. Fanny does not have enough energy, of course, and Art and Bid don't want to really put any pressure before the second turtle of the match, because now they need to actually be there for the objectives. They've got to make sure kills are not their priority.
Yeah, the fact that the early rotation coming out from Jonathan is not really gonna be working out because he's so behind onto the goal steal. I mean, the Nathan really need 4 items by why, but look at the steal onto the turtle. What?
Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. But look at that, the ultimate, the shadow. Oh, he'll just misses Fanny by a second, and the quad shadow allows him to escape. But look at Fate doing damage to Papi Shrek. Romcom low on HP in the back line, but he'll be safe for now. Bid, though, he's trying to actually poke and make sure his team can retreat safely. And that makes Eden a little low on HP. Taunt getting set up, maybe. No, it's not going to actually land just yet. I think Bid's going to be safe now. Mid lane is going to be cleared, no pressure. And they're all going to actually rotate to the bot lane because obviously we've got Fate and Art being a little too annoying trying to actually take down a turret. But here comes the heavy crossbow from Crisis, and I think that's going to save the bot tier 1.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a fake call coming in, but into the top lane. Though that's Romcom taken down in 2v1 situation. The Vengeance helping quite a lot into McKinnon. He's been loving this Vengeance so far, and he's always been able to bite down as well. But Rapid Burst into the hands of Art, making him able to rotate faster than expected. But onto the bottom lane though, Puppy Shrek might have to give out a little bit of a reason, have to force away 2 resources right now. But Van, he really doesn't care if McKinnon is there or not. He just won the turret and he'll be able to take it down. First build onto the hands of Nathan already. There's gonna be the feather, and he might eventually go for the Stardom side again. But once he gets the Holy Crystal, it's gonna be a very, very good game for him as well. But the taunt coming in.
Oh, there goes Gatok Kacha, but look at Art getting completely blindsided by the damage of Hayabusa, of course, because I actually didn't expect him to do that much damage to Art, who was supposedly going for a tanky build, but he will be taken out. Look at that. On the top side of the river, I think before the turtle spawns, I think Fanny is setting up, but now he's revealed his position, unbeknownst to him. I think it would have been better if he actually stayed out of vision
Yeah.
and made sure that he could actually just swoop in and take the turtle in a moment's notice. Crisis gets himself the Has clause, but Fanny does not see. There's no sign of Fanny actually being interested in taking the fist crack. Misses. No walls today.
Wow.
Oh, Retribution will secure the kill on the turtle. We got Romcom trying to actually do some damage, but that's not going to actually help anybody. In bot lane, we've got CC getting taken out, blindsided by Vansathoru, of course, who was not there for the total fight. Here goes Art going, as the revenge strategy for the side of Team Crux Requiem. They've lost their EXP, but they take down the roam position, which is not the best course of action for them, but I think it's going to work out eventually, I believe.
Yeah, if Art was able to survive that, also it could have been a gain for a compensation for a Secret Shrine, but they lose out their members as well as Turtles too. But look at Van in action, taking down Eden just like that, deleting him out of the map again. That's the power of the Mikasa we were talking about, and he's trying to go in again. Not much can happen. He does not really have the perfect inertia to go in for that. But the late game scaling coming in for the side of Secret Shrine is much better if we talked about it, and they do have a good set. One set on Crisis will be able to turn the game, but look at Romcom baiting out a Puppy Shrek's AOZ, so that's not gonna be a little bit of a big drama coming in. But onto the mid side, the teams are so careful on not giving away the mid lane here.
Forget the mid lane, it's the bot lane and the top lane that's actually being pressured. Look at that, Such as Life is able to escape from a dire situation. He is going to actually have to defend the lane. Quad Shadow being used will actually be connected onto Fate, but it will. But look at that, the curtain call! That's called the curtains down on Fanny, who was absolutely like, holy shit, I was trying to fly around, but now there's a curtain on my face and gets taken out. But look at that, CC just got the revenge, but he will be taken out instead. Puppy Shrek will be forced to actually retreat because obviously Nathan has a lot of damage and he does not have the radiant armor just yet, I believe, of course. I think right now Puppy Shrek really needs to get himself the radiant armor because now is when Nathan starts hurting. Now it's when Nathan is going to be a problem for the side of Team Crux Requiem. It's the mid game already. The first Lord of the match has just spawned in, and Eden has decided to actually be a very generous patron for Sacred Shrine, giving them a free meal before the Lord even just starts. Because obviously you want to actually have no real world manipulation, right, Crux Requiem? You've got to give it away to actually secure the Lord. But here goes Art with a fist break and fist crack, and there goes Vansathoru trying to get the kills. Curtain call was used, but the CC is going to get taken out. Romcom in the back line forces Puppy Shrek's ultimate. The AOG going onto the back line, trying to get the kill on Nathan, but it's not going to hit because obviously there's a wall in front of you. If you're going to punch a wall, it's not going to work. And Art is going to be facing up all of the damage from obviously, the punches of Gato Kacha. Vansathoru not even needed, was aura farming there while his team just took the Lord. For the first time, we've got a Lord without the retribution in this series.
I think that they just know that Crux Requiem will not be contesting onto this Lord as well, and that's definitely good, giving them a little bit of confidence right now. But Bid, knowing fully well that Satsu's life does not have the shadows, trying to be as aggressive as possible. Look at not Romcom, but Satoru just trying to get a kill out of Eden again. But the funny thing is that Crux Requiem are the one actually taken out to the mid lane, so they have that momentum. They have the ways to try to defend this Lord this time around, but top lane will be onto the focus, all the green lights for the side of Sacred Shrine, but they are very careful, very disciplined, not doing anything, just yet. Entropy.
That was a beautiful entropy. He was able to completely dodge the Oki shadow kill, but look at that on the bot side. We got CC taking a lot of damage. The vengeance is not going to save him. AOG connecting. Romcom taking no damage though. Gets the stun on, Poppy Shrek. He will be taken out. Crisis a little too late to the party. And I think it's not going to be good for the side of Team Crux Requiem if they keep, being generous patrons for, Sacred Shrine. They've already done so much for them.
That's why I'm talking about Crux, because you can't really give away all the stuff to their hands. But finally, Radiant Armor into the hands of the Gatot Kacha Puppy Shrek to able to do that, but the Blade Armor is also taken away by Romcom. He wanna stay into the fight, and holy crystal, man oh man, this guy's gonna be hurting, and I'm talking about Fate onto the Natan. But we cannot forget that it's gonna be a Windtalker build onto the hands of the Irisdal. He's gonna go for the Berserker too, so that's definitely an item that
Whoa.
can run on about thicker.
All art, and I think Romcom looking in for an engage, but the taunt from Gatot Kacha puts him in a tough spot. No blade
Whoa!
armor to save you, but Fate gets taken out, killing spree for Joseph. I think the blade armor is not working out. Is it now? I think that was a bad item choice because Irithor is literally not even caring, and if he's actually taking more damage than he's dealing, he is able to take down in a matter of seconds. Vanta Thuru was in a good spot, but the Cyclone Eye, no, not Cyclone Eye. I think the Cyclone Eye is the little thing that you use to jump around in the jungle. I think the eye that gives you vision is actually going to put him in a tough spot. Now Vansathor is not going to be alive anymore because obviously he just flew around too much. You've got to have a flight permit. You don't fly around in airspace and have that. How do I put it? What's the word for it? Airspace. No, it's a military thing. I forgot about it, but no more flying around for Fanny because obviously we've got the blue buff being stolen from the side of Team Crux Requiem, and Eden gets it after that previous game with all the star shatters connecting amazingly. I think he deserves it. Here goes, CC taking no damage, of course, because he decides to jump away from harm's way. And I think the second Lord of the match is going to go to the side of Team Crux Requiem, unless, of course, Bantha Through decides to pull off a no blue buff, amazing play, and just surprise us all.
Yeah, that's something we have to actually wait it out on. But the fact that it's going into the later part of this game, the Fanny is gonna be completely rendered useless. Not for full on useless, but in team fights he has to be very decisive. You're gonna have to play out the Macro Factor here into his hands because he does have a more mobility onto his kit than the Hayabusa there. So the Lord is gonna be danced upon here by both of these teams, and the jungle trying to set out to the long lanes as much as possible so they can have the pressure onto the waves as well. But the fact that it's equalized by them, they don't really know. But Mercurial, look at that!
The first kill will be CC, followed by maybe Fate will be the one getting killed. Surprising. Crisis doing way more than I actually expected him to actually be doing. That damage is absolutely bonkers. Here comes the Quad Shadow and the Ogi Shadow kill maybe. No, he does not have it. So obviously they've decided to go for the Lord. And in the mid lane, we've got the tier 2 getting taken out by Vansa through none other. I think he's ready to actually come in for the Lord fight. Might not decide to actually go for the mid lane instead. Retribution being used, such as life gets the kill on the Lord. The second Lord of the match goes to the side of Team Crux Requiem. But look at that. Vansa through has made a lot of progress in the mid lane.
One more. Okay, that's gonna be a retreat. Bing barn away. Monster kill for Crisis onto the top lane. Romcom taken very low, but he does not really have the way to survive. But can he leave? Look at the base rider being used. The seal is there to provide him, but that's gonna be the Surikens taking his life down. Such his life will be able to grab that kill. The Lord is gonna be merging into the mid lane right now, and there's 3 members of the side Sacred Shrine, and Vansato will have 15 seconds to try to come back into it as well. Look at the damage already for Crisis. He got a lot of damage, man, and a lot of ways to try to go in when he does have the chance. But they're gonna be able to get down to the mid lane tower. But look at that, the Shadow Kill being used again, and Fate will not be able to survive for long to try to hunt them down. Oh my god, Crux, they're gonna be falling down in here.
I'm not able to see it because as of right now, I think my stream is crashed. Just take it over, Debbie. I'll be right back.
This is a victory for Crux Requiem. Channeling themselves, trying to show what they can do with this new change in their roster. We can see right now what they can do against Sacred Shrine, what they can do against Vansaturus Fanny himself. And that's definitely gonna be giving them the leeway to march towards the match point. 2 wins already for the side of CRQ. such his life with the MVP. He's gotten his Hayabusa in his hands, like you mentioned, Crux. It's the signature pick that he had, and now he will be able to make it work. Full damage onto his kit, 4 items already. He was able to get and play all over the places, and of course, we cannot forget to mention even Makiro was able to do so much. I mean, he got caught up most of the time, but then again, it was actually in the end that he was able to make sure the life that he had given away has to be repaid 3 times the amount. Wait, that sounded so weird, but it was like that. He got killed and they removed 3% of the board right there. And even Crisis with the damage onto the Irithel. I thought that the Irithel will not be having the best time of his life against the Fanny, but they played their cards so well. Of course, he got not much of the damage because he doesn't really have the place to kite around, but the damage was all onto the hands of Sati's life, I would say, on the Hayabusa. So that's definitely what Crux Requiem are capable of. So we will see what they can do again, because I don't really think that the draft was in favor of any of them, because the fact that one Satoru have a Fanny already and with no crowd control onto the side of a a Crux Requiem, you were bound to see him flying solo and get killed, or even have the best time of fly onto the Fanny, but he wasn't able to do so. Why? Because they weren't able to have the spacing required in the early games that that Crux Requiem were playing. It was so well. So I think this time around they should get a winning. Wait, they do have a winning mid lane again. So the execution coming out from Crux Requiem is just too much overwhelming for Secret Shrine to handle, I would say.
Definitely is. I don't actually see the possibility of Sacred Shrine coming up on top against, Crux Requiem. They've played it so well. The micros that they're using, the way that they know the hero within and without. They know every single aspect of each hero that they're playing. Each of the members of the side of team Crux Requiem, they're playing it so perfectly. And the macro that they're actually putting together, the teamwork, the objective-based team fights, and also the trade-offs that they're doing. It's absolutely top tier, and they deserve to actually have more than just 2 wins right now. But Sacred Shrine too, they've shown us a lot of what do you call it, a lot of amazing plays. I think they deserve to be here too. But who is going to come on top? Of course, Sacred Shrine has a chance to turn it around. They've got 2 more matches, of course. Am I right, Debbie?
Yeah, we are gonna see if this is gonna be a sweep or not. But before that, 2 games we have already played, ladies and gentlemen. Let us take a little bit of a short break, and we'll be coming back and see if this is gonna be a sweep or not. Alright, so we are back again, guys, with such a banger of a series that we have seen. That this best of 5 has gotten a lot more interesting, of course. But Sacred Shrine, they did not have any wins so far because Crux Requiem are in the verge of clean sweeping. So we will see in this third game if they are able to make a statement and get a win for themselves and show us what they are capable of, because we can see what they can do. They are a monster in the making also, but Crux Requiem, they are kind of stopping them most of the time. So it wasn't even the problem of the draft, it was just a game played better done by the side of Crux Requiem in the first 2 games. So let's see what they can do in this game this time around. So Crux, oh my god, that's like Crux Requiem and Crux together in one frame. So how do you feel about it? Are we expecting a sweep?
Hey yo, all I'm thinking about right now is in the bottom left corner, we've got someone with a pair of sunglasses looking cooler than any clean sweep that we can actually think about. Let's just give a due to him for a second. But back to the game, it's 2-0, and Sacred Shrine really don't have any opening. Of course, they've got the opportunity to maybe get a 2-1, 2-2, and maybe get a reverse sweep, but that is quite the task. It's quite the problematic it's a problematic goal to actually achieve, of course. If you've got 2 losses in a row, you've got your confidence a little down. You've got to actually put up the pressure on your gameplay, and that's going to put a lot of stress on strain on the team, of course. And with the way the team Sacred Shrine are putting out that macros, I think it's going to be very hard, especially with Art and Romcom's engages in coordination being very helter-skelter. It's always a Romcom who's actually putting up the frontline defense for the side of Team Sacred Shrine, and are trying to actually make a little bit of a diversion between both Romcom and his team. I think it's not working out, that whole synergy with them, it's not working out at all. But there's also always a chance that Crux Requiem might actually slip up and make a mistake. Am I right?
Yeah, that's actually where they can, drive in, scoop in, and get a kill out of that. So definitely something that they can work around with, Even us, we really wanna do see a game 5, man, because the more the games are, the better it gets. So this is something that we really want to focus on, and the fact that these 2 teams, when the playoffs were beginning and the round robin has been finished, they were the one in the top 3 and 4, and look at them now. They are in the upper brackets finals, and the top 2 teams are set down by these 2 teams into the lower brackets. It's very, very it's kind of a good novelty that we have seen so far, and with the fact that they are also the one that has been known in a different name and kind of a veteran style, but not so much, because they are rebranding themselves into new names, and they're making this work this time around. So with 2 points already into the hands of Crux Requiem, 2 meters they completed, they got their points, and Sacred Shrine with 0 steals. Let's see how they are going to be responding into this 3rd game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading into the draft again with no Joseph into the picture just yet. I wonder when this guy's going to be sending his picture though.
To be fair, I'll be very honest with you. Joseph actually is like that mysterious guy. I think he actually is the one in the back of a party, just sitting and chilling there with a kind of Fanta maybe, and then just being all mysterious and all. I think that's what he's going for. No pictures for now, but we've got the pictures of 2 heroes in the band section. It's Lancelot and 1-1. I think 1-1 is quite the regular guest in the band section, as well as Lancelot, of course. But Kalia, again, another hero that Art is pretty confident with, getting banned onto the side of Team Crux Requiem. They've got their whole Shabazz in place. They've got their whole idea as to keeping Sacred Shrine in a little corner and making sure they get the victory. I think it's going to be a clean sweep. Fingers crossed. I hope not, because I want more exciting gameplay from both of these teams.
Yeah, that's definitely a no-brainer to see. The fact that Crux Requiem, they were actually having a different set of ban when they were facing IGN, and now that they are against Sacred Shrine, they are taking away different set of heroes again. Because when Crux Requiem was playing against ICN, there was no ban on the Kalea. They were focusing on one marksman, that is the 1-1 or either the Moskov, and 4 mazes bans. And now that they are against Secret Shrine, they are doing the exact opposite thing, because Lesla, Kalea ban away, and the Farsa too, which they could have gotten into the hands of Bid. I mean, yeah, they could give away into the hands of Bid, so they do not really want to do that, because Bid onto a monster hero like this Farsa is definitely not something you really want to face. But Secret Shrine, they are still sticking to the bans that can be a complete meta here. Of course, like I mentioned, the 1-1 already, and the Boxia too. They really can't let go of the Boxia anymore, seeing that the first game was pure domination, right? Even it was hard to counter too. So CC coming through again, and the Zeushin is safe to pick. And you know what I think, Crux? I don't think Yushin matters anymore. There are a lot of ways to try to counter that hero too. Even if you pick away a utility jungle, you are able to kite around with it using a damage dealing XP laner, so it can really work.
I mean, I'll be very honest with you. With Zushin getting picked onto the side of Team Crux Requiem, you're a little bit of a, a whole kill box thing, the vibe coming up, but I think it's not going to be very obvious. I think they're trying to actually pressure Sacred Shrine into picking heroes that can actually, dodge a lot of their spells. Lapu Lapu getting picked onto the side of Team Sacred Shrine means that they can actually, think about a good counter for him, of course. They might actually go for Roma again, because they've gone for it previously, and I think that speaks for itself. We've got Gato Catcher from the side of Team Sacred Shrine, a repeat pick onto the same thing we've seen in the previous match. I think Zushin's going to have a field day with that one. However, the Lapu Lapu might actually be a big threat, with especially Romcom being that amazing EXP laner that he is.
When he got those hands on his comfort heroes, he kind of pops out quite a lot. Even if you see them losing onto the end of this game, you kind of make this work. But okay, this is gonna be a first phase picked up Moskov. The first phase Moskov hasn't been really working out in this Nerd 3.0 so far, but Crux Requiem are the only team that can make the first phase picks Moskov most of the time. So I'm really excited to see how they're going to be performing in this kind of lineup. They have a damage seeker, they have a displacer onto their side as well, but Secret Shrine right now direct with their answer, picking up the year. So they got to ban away the Esmeralda and even the Hayabusa too, if they don't want to risk, if they don't want to take a risk. But Crux Requiem are the one actually banning out the Hayabusa. Very understandable, because Secret Shrine right now, they are into the first pick, so they cannot really let go of that hero. So let's see what kind of ban they will be going for. Another XP ban could come through, but now that they ban away the CC and the Esmeralda, they can take away another. Okay, they went for the ban onto the Fanny. Okay, they don't want the Fanny for themselves. Interesting, it could have been good here, but okay. In the presence of the Moskov, it was actually a second guessing kind of assassin, so you can't really do that. Another jungle ban?
Maybe not. I think we're gonna see maybe a gold lane ban from the side of Team Crux Requiem, of course. But if at all they actually go for another assassin ban, they might actually just go for maybe a utility jungler, maybe a Fredrin or something, according to those lines. But I've also known that, Joseph, who is such as life, of course, is very, very good on the, Fredrin. We've got some people talking about it in the chat, QWERTY especially. But it's going to be a gold laner like I predicted, of course. It's going to be Nathan, who you definitely don't want to put into Fate's hands, because he might actually just change Fate. After that previous game, of course, he really, really wants to bring back his most amazing plays with the Nathan.
Yeah, I think if Secret Shrine had a little bit of time, they could have made the Nathan work, right? But unfortunate, it was Crux Requiem just playing the game too well. And rotation wise, I thought, oh my god, another Yi Shin. So Yi Shin again, huh? Secret Shrine.
It might work.
I think
it just
so,
might work.
But I mean, they did take away the Hayabusa already in the Fanny, so it can. But Crux Requiem, they do have the Joy. I don't know if the Joy can work here, or even the Suyo. I mean, I've been talking about the Suyo onto the hands of Van, not Joseph. If they pick out the Fredrin, no, the Fredrin is not an option here. Assassin, it has to be Assassin, right? What?
Oh, no way! It's an Alice in the jungle from the side of Team Crux Requiem. They're actually defying the norms. They're going for a hero that's not been in the jungle for quite some time now, but a utility jungler like Alice might actually be the only good way to make sure Yeet and also maybe Yisun Shin are put into their place. I think it's going to be a good strategy. However, the Yisun Shin allowing Gato Kacha to get the ultimate.
Whoa!
It's like Lunox in the gold lane. Man, the Mountain Shocker might just be Gato Catcher's free ticket to getting vision, of course, and allowing maybe the Eve to set up for good ultimate, the real world manipulation might actually be amazing. However, Crux Requiem, you've got my eyes on you. You're actually going and define the norms right now.
Damn, I think today we have seen in MPL we have seen like 2 Lunox already, but the Lunox was put against the Harris, right? It's kind of a counter, and you can hold the lane with the Lunox too. But against the Moskov, I'm pretty unsure how it can work out because the Moskov does have a self peel that can help him survive into the lane unless ganked upon. But the fact that Secret Shrine are trying to put their old damages onto the hands of Yi Sun-shin, but they also do not want to lose out onto the gold lane either, and putting the Lunox there, I think it's kind of a very, very safe choice. But then again, an Elise and an Angela combination. The Elise alone doesn't really work out, and Poppy Strike is gonna be hitting back with the Poppy Pum Angela again. I think this guy used this hero like 4 times already with 100% win rate.
Oh
He's a
my
certified,
goodness.
he's a certified e-girl, but he's a guy. You see, right? He's a guy.
E-guy girl,
So,
E-guy
so
slash girl, maybe?
mhm.
E-guy.
Um,
Ikigai. I remember reading that book back in college, Ikigai, but I think my boy right now, Papi Shrek, is absolutely going into the zone right now. He's playing it like it's life. He's absolutely, what's the word for it? Locked in, yes, that's the word. We're also getting locked in. Me, you, Debbie, of course, the viewers. We are back for another exciting game in the Land of Dawn between Sacred Shrine and Crux Requiem. The one that loses, if at all Sacred Shrine loses, will actually just get disqualified directly. Not disqualified. Correct me if I'm wrong. They will lose their spot, of course. But if they actually manage to win, Crux Requiem are facing another game.
Yeah, that's definitely what we want to see in this game number 3. This is gonna be a bully mid into the mid lane. Bit into the mid. That's kind of interesting. But Art right now getting quite the bully a little bit into his hands because Eden does have the butterfly wings to try to get something out of his into the mid lane. They really want to have the control into the mid side. But when the Gatokata is here, you kind of have a good clearance. But look at that. There's gonna be a taunt coming through on Eden. Does have the flicker and the heal as well, but he does not really waste it out. But that's gonna be a taunt. Not reaching him as well, but that's
Oh my god.
unbreakable. That was close, man. That was so close.
Dude, I did not think that Angela would be heavy lifting so early into the game. Bro was the only reason why Zushin is still alive and is
Dang.
still well. He will manage to actually stay alive and recall back to the base, the bot lane. I think Moskov is trying to make sure his lane is actually kind of like near his tower, making sure he actually gets safer and, with every passing second. In the top side, Romcom and Bid trying to actually
Whoa.
put some pressure in. They want the level 4 before the first turtle fight. And I think, obviously, Art does not get the message. He's not trying to clear the mid lane, which is a good MPL style, rotation. But in the bot lane, we see Bid taking a ton of Fate taking a ton of damage. Crisis is just fearless. He's trying to force him back, and in the top side, Alice is completely caught off guard. There goes the Blood Ode. He's not going to actually connect again. The turtle will be stolen by, of course, not stolen, Ran Satoru gets the turtle, and Hylos gets taken out. Romcom also getting taken out. Revenge, such as life, is going to face death as well as Eden, of course. There comes the ultimate, saving him at a moment's notice. The last second he waited for, and gets... the Spear of Misery, almost,
Oh my god.
in the ball lane, almost gets the kill on Fate, but Fate had other plans. He gets away in no problem whatsoever.
He does have the heal, right? So he will be able to do that just in the perfect position. But then again, there was such a close call coming in from Fade. I would say it's like Crisis was, the one actually playing it slow, very very slow. But now that he had the Spear of Misery too, he was able to do that in a perfect position too. But this time around, once Satoru onto the Yusuf, and he's playing very very slow, very very unaggressive, very passive because. Into the previous game that he used the Yi Sun, he was just trying to be overly attentive onto the map most of the time. But look at the taunt onto the bottom lane. Art trying to get something out of this, but not so much because there's not. None of his teams are around the corner to try to take something out of them. And the fact that the Angela already gotten the hard guard, right? You cannot really engage on just one person with two of you. You're gonna be needing three so as to have that gain success, that gang successful. And so far, there's nothing that's too much aggressive because the only fight that we have seen so in this game was the turtle fight, and from then on, it became kind of dead again.
I mean, both teams can't really risk it right now. Crux Requiem have the, free way to actually make sure they can actually lose maybe 1 or 2 games. However, they've got to actually put up the pressure. Both teams don't really want to actually lose this one. And it's kind of a telltale sign because obviously Romcom is going to be starting up a fight for no reason. He will be pulled back into harm's way. Stun landing on Eden, of course, but now Romcom has the decision to go back or continue fighting. He's decided to continue fighting, gets the shield from his passive, and forces the flicker on Eden. That means Team Sacred Shrine have the opportunity to engage on the turtle. Eden gets taken out by Romcom. Fate gets the kill on Hylos, and in the top bot side, Alice. Oh no, Poppy Shrek will be taken out. Alice gets the turtle, I think, and Touch's Life is going for more. The Spear of Destruction gets Vansa through from the background. Gets a kill on him. Crisis is now in a little bit of a problem, a pickle, because there's choking from both sides. Romcom has engaged inside the tower and has decided to make sure his life. Crisis going mad on that Moskov today. Brilliance is not going to actually do anything because it's not connecting onto anybody. If Crisis is not even in this situation, he's able to completely escape from 4 people. This guy is absolutely bonkers.
Definitely Bone caused that. He was able to survive a 4-man gang coming onto the bottom lane. That's definitely something you don't really see on easy occasions. But damn, that was a good one, Crux Requiem. They were able to play it very, very slow. This is a very positive kind of gameplay coming through from both of these teams because they know, never mind, Van Satoru with up on top lane. There was a very, very weird place for Crisis to be in. That's going to be giving them a little bit of a gain because the turret will be falling down again. Onto the mid lane they have to focus onto again. But look at the taunt, Mekinu onto the Hylos. He isn't able to do anything about it because he doesn't really have the means to try to chase them away from his turrets. But Bit on the other hand is the one poking him away. Look at that, Brave Fighter.
The ultimate from the Lapu Lapu almost caught him, but then again, Eden also does have an ultimate too. There goes Moskov's Spear of Misery, stunning Romcom, but he's able to escape. But Crisis is kind of like trying not to actually engage. Glorious Pathway, putting a little bit of a distance between Team SS and CRQ. But there goes the first death of the match by Poppy Shrek. No, none other, of course, because Angela is well known for actually stealing all the kills. Mountain Shocker missing. Here comes Romcom with the ultimate again, doing a ton of damage. There goes Eden going back again. I'm pulling Romcom inside the tower. There goes Alice going back straight to the base. And I think that's going to be the end of the fight because Eden can't really engage against a mage. Well, Bid, of course. I'm talking about Bid, who has anti-heal. That means Poppy Shrek now cannot be that one lifting all the heavy weights for this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think Beat is doing everything. I mean, the position that he's always in, he hasn't been caught out even once. The fact that, they do not really have a dive, it's just making it so easy for him. So that's why I thought, maybe, just maybe Kusukum could have went for the assassin. But the fact that they have at least they're gonna be waiting for the late part of this game so that they'll make the at least work out. Looking at the build so far, Clock of Destiny already under the hands of Satsu's life, but never mind, look at that ton.
The taunt is going to lead to a kill on Eden inside the tower nonetheless. There goes the AOG connecting onto absolutely nobody. The flicker was absolutely timed perfectly. There goes 4 people to actually get the kill on Hylos. But here comes Such As Life. Joseph, with the Hawk Guard on, is trying to actually put some pressure onto the side of Team Sacred Shrine. The Spear of Destruction connecting will get the kill on Fate. And there's one more kill that's coming up. Oh, is going to be the one taken out. Okay, Mountain Shocker gets the kill on Crisis. Such As Life, low on HP. Does not have any other choice but to leave Papi Shrek for his fate. Of course, puns intended. He will be taken out. I think it's much more, reasonable to have the Roma getting taken out instead of the jungler. Keeping him alive is way more important. And then a lot of pressure in the mid lane, Glorious Pathway, making sure that Romcom is going to be jumping in. Ranzathoru has no way to escape, no means to actually survive. Allison, his, blood owed, blood, it's literally everything about her is blood, blood, blood. It's like Count Dracula from, Hotel Transylvania. Blood, blood, blood!
Blood, man. He's looking for blood too, but his blood is gonna be the one sucked away, so he have to be walking back to his own jungle. This time around, I think Secret Shrine are playing it so safe because they do know that the early game for Crux Requiem might not be the best, and they also learn that
Definitely.
they have pieces to their side who's going to be playing it safe, so they have to be very decisive on the decision makings as well. But the fact that they have a late game into this, into the hands of Crux Requiem, they know that they cannot drag the game so long because. Yeah, I mean, we can face it, right? Valsa Toronto is kind of a late game kind of hero, but when you compare it to the Moscow, he kind of does. The Moscow does better because he have ways to peel himself, but look at that. There's gonna be a Lord started out, and you might be in trouble.
Oh, dude, the damage from Luna is surprisingly high. Here comes the ultimate, the Dark One, of course, taking out Hylos from the picture. There can't be any way for Alice to actually survive that, but the Spear of Destruction saving the day. Alice is going to be shut down, but that's not going to be a problem. Crisis here, I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm liking.
No,
I'm
Romcom
liking. I
will
cannot
be
see anything.
Definitely, man. Look at the 3 kills already for Secret Shrine. That was a good game, well played over. But okay, look at the Eden. One hit away from being taken down by Fate. But yeah, I could not focus on the death coming through from Secret Shrine. But what a ton of event coming in. There was such a good call for Crux Requiem to try to get a setup. Because, when you try to engage on a hero like the Hylos, it's the holes we're talking about with defense items already onto his hands. You can't really kill him that easily, even though you have the Lunox, you have the Radiant Armor, so they gotta be careful on that. But Fate, this time around, 3 items already onto his kit. That is all full penetration he's going for, and you know what? It kind of worked because he's gonna be able to burst down the side of Crux Requiem. But the thing is, they have an Angela, they have a heal, so they can't really exactly go for it. But this is a great kind of build busting coming in from Eden, I would say. He went for the Sky Piercer, so maybe he really want to go for the kills. He does not really have a better stacks just yet, but now it's going to be slowing down again. Not much of a kill off the board, not much of a team fight, but when the team fights happen, there's going to be a lot of kills happening all over the places, all across the board again. But Fate right now, trying to get a chase onto Sati's life, but will not be able to because the Lord is going to be much more important for them, and they're going to be trying to set up who's going to be getting the better of this Lord.
Oh, definitely, dude. But one more thing that I actually want to mention is the fact that Lunux, as a hero, has a passive that makes every bit of penetration into Spell Vamp whenever she's in the light form, and vice versa, of course. The Spell Vamp turns into penetration when, of course, she's on dark form. There goes Gato Catcher getting the Law and Order stun completely off guard. Oh, the Glorious Pathway has caught. Okay, good grief. There goes Fate to the hands of Such As Life. And there comes the Spear of Destruction. How is this guy hitting it? It's absolutely bonkers. Bit is going to get taken out. There goes, Such As Life going to get another kill. He's not going to stop, though. Wanzathoru actually putting a lot of effort into escaping, but he cannot escape from Bid and Such As Life, Joseph, and, of course, Papi Shrek, who are absolutely going crazy right now. They have the opportunity to end the game, of course. They've got Such As Life on the hard guard. They've got the pressure being applied in the mid lane. The attack speed on Moskov is absolutely going Dude, I can't even explain how the attack speed is going. It's absolutely too fast for me. Like, what is
He's
that?
making his
How?
man. He's throwing javelin all over the place, and it kind of work because he does have the passive.
Oh,
But right
look
now,
at
look at the
that.
stun on. He does have the brace trying to dive in, but not so much because look at the passive goes partway though.
Oh, the beautiful attribution secures the Lord for the side of Team Crux Requiem, and there's Zushin doing so much for his team. Romcom forced to flicker out, bid with the ultimate, does not really do much, and there goes Eden getting the kill. Eden gets shut down though, Vansatharu getting the kill again. Fate is forced to use the flicker, is going to actually be able to escape from that whole ordeal. I think right now Vansatharu did a good job at making sure Eden was out of the picture. Romcom being not there to defend against the Lord means that Team Crux Requiem have an easy opportunity to engage and take down this game, the tower, the nexus. There goes the glorious pathway. Here comes the blood ode directly going into the back line, forcing Vansatharu to be non-existent from the situation. Lord being taken out, and now there's going to be a lot of blood being spilled around. Alice getting the double kill with the heart guard on, triple kill for Alice, and I think that's going to be a shutdown. No, he's able to survive with a little bit of HP, but Moskov has other plans, going straight for the base, making sure the nexus is going to be destroyed, dismantled, and demolished. And that's a 3-0 for the side of Team Crux Requiem. They've gotten this game in a clean sweep.
Clean sweep, definitely. Crux Requiem, what are they made of? I think if they do have ways to see what their win condition is, I would say, yeah, pick up the Angela, and we'll be winning most of this. Dude, this is not classic, man. How are you making the Angela work and the Ellie's work as well? It kind of reminds me of BTR. Of course, I'm gonna mention Super again. I'm joking. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. Satisfying, yeah, he kind of topped the charts in my opinion, just because of the Ellie's pick right there, because that is kind of a Super Ken hero also, and I like Super Ken, man. And the Angela, man, Puppy's Wreck. Continuously playing the Angela and also making it 3 games in a row. They are able to get it with a clean sweep, but Eden onto the Jushin as well. I think he was doing everything that he could. He was kind of a utility. It was kind of his his ways that he was playing, the way he was trying to get the displacement onto any person that he got. It was also making it work. The early stages of this game was very, very slow, but they do have a lot of scaling heroes onto their side. There's not much of a punishment coming in from the side of Secret Shrine that could punish this that late game scaling composition coming in from the side of Crux Requiem, and they kind of close.
Jushin best hero.
Okay, bro. You gotta move away.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from, huh? Hey,
No,
hey, I thought we were actually having...
No, it wasn't
Hey.
me. It was okay.
Okay, well, let's just face it, right? Ray, get on the casting desk with us. Don't hide. If you want to talk about Zushin, if you want a Glazer, get on the casting desk and tell us all about the power of Zushin and how she carried the game, of course. By the way, that was absolutely beautiful from the side of Eden, of course. Well, Eden doing so much for his team. He had the Sky Piercer, of course, because you got Alice, you got, like, Hylos. These people can't really get the kills, if at all, if enemies escape. Again, a good thing about Zushin, she can actually always go for the Sky Piercer and make sure there's a kill, securer. KS inside a Team Crux Requiem that actually worked for their favor, and we've seen how Zushin absolutely demolished the game. Is that enough, Ray? Are you happy? I'm gonna make sure I'd even do it even more if you ask me to.
If I start with the Zushin glazing, it's not ending till tomorrow, okay? So we gotta stop.
Oh no!
we gotta stop about that, okay? So yeah, great casting guys, of course. I will just get summoned whenever Zushin is there. So yeah, of course with that, you guys can get the closure.
You're always welcome to the casting desk, my friend. But then again, there's also one more thing that I'm actually missing out on. Is there a giveaway, my friend?
You guys did not pick one?
I actually did pick a person to actually give away. However, I still am not, sure if I actually should do it right now or later.
I think production will tell you. Hey, where is the production, mate? Okay, pick up a winner, I guess.
Alright, I say that 2 people have actually come into my mind, but since one of them was there since yesterday, of course, and was chatting actively yesterday and today, Tosh, I hope you are happy because you will be the one who will be winning this giveaway. Your extended support for the stream is absolutely respected and appreciated, my friend. Congratulations.
Debbie, say something, man. What?
Man, am I not winning? I'm joking. Yeah.
Of course, if you want to win the giveaway, you should have been in the chat, my friend.
Oh.
No, we're just joking. We're just joking. But Debbie ain't winning anything. She winning something else. But yeah,
No,
Tosh,
the fact the I mean, I have a curse on everything is same as even Nihal believed that I curse people. He was
crazy
like,
doxing
bro,
on like.
you supported
his real
IGN,
name.
so they lost. You supported J1, so they lost. You did not support DNS,
Oh,
so they
no.
won. That was a weird
Hey,
line.
But yeah,
hey,
but sorry.
Debbie,
Kosh,
Debbie.
congrats. And please put out your ID. I'm gonna be taking the note of you. Please submit your ID, or at least reach out on any of the obviously servers and everything. We'll take your ID, and of course we'll let you know. And the score is of course a 3-0 for in. And yeah, it is 3-0. Where is Kosh?
Really bonkers.
Your ID? Where's your ID, man?
He's here.
Gosh. Drop your ID. On the YouTube chat, of course.
Are you done?
Tosh? Give me a sec.
Wait, no, I can't do
Type
that.
out your ID in the YouTube chat. I'll just screenshot it. Okay, I got his ID. Yeah, done. Right now, obviously, Crux and Zabe, you guys can go over and end the show for tonight because, of course,
Yeah.
Crux Requiem, they will stay on the top brackets still. And it looks like they're going to be facing off another team. I think you know.
Oh, one more thing. Debbie, I'm pretty sure you were actually upset about not winning the giveaway. Of course, you can't be participating in the giveaway if you're on the casting desk with, with us, of course. But one thing that I want to tell you is that you've won everyone's heart in the chat section today, because I've seen so many people actually glazing you and actually worshipping you, because there was around 3 people that were just chatting your name. Literally that. Just your name.
Can you hear Debbie? Looks like I cannot.
We might have to end it, but can you? Can we end it right now?
Yeah, I can hear you
or what?
right now. You became mute for a while, but you're back. Anyways, Debbie, obviously, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna be going ahead because I'm gonna be going in another. Never mind, I'm not talking about that. But yeah, let's go, man. We're gonna be having another match tomorrow, so we're about to go and see it already. Wait, I'm kind of flustered. I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry, Ray. Can you end this? Thank you.
Of course, definitely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in into this upper brackets match. Is of course between Crux Requiem and Sacred Shrine. We just got it, and Crux Requiem was able to make a clean sweep. So from a team that was kind of in the bottom tier, has made it to the top 4 and is the one dominating the leaderboards. So obviously the question is remaining: who's going to be the one standing against them tall? But with it, of course, tomorrow we're going to be having the lower brackets match, as 2 of the undefeated teams in the round robins are actually staying down there, gonna be meeting each other again in a rendezvous. IGN versus LCF. So make sure you stay tuned of course for tomorrow, playoff day 6, and we're gonna be obviously seeing these 2 giants duke it out, and one will be eliminated. This no more second chances. Pretty crazy to think about that either IGN or LCF won't be making it to the top, but that's how brutal this competition is. So make sure you stay tuned, make sure you follow Wardroom Games, and we'll be right back with Nerd Treason 3.0 playoff stage lower brackets tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. Good night, take care, and we'll see you back.